Hola, buenos dias, benvendido. Hello, good morning, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Andrew Weston, resonating on all solar systems, planets, intelligence through the communication lines of synchronizing souls. I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers in the Her Self channel for love and support. You guys are amazing. Let's keep up the galactic force. Today's a great day. I'm heading back to Mexico. Like I said, I'm going to be heading back to Mexico, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm getting a full collaboration relationship right now through Mexico City. As again, I'm sending the alignments through the galactic system and the energy core. But it's a lot easier now because I have the galactic five elements. So they're activating their divisions. So basically through the four septic centers and its atmospheres. So everything is connected through its atmosphere. So what I mean by atmosphere is it has its connection waves. And we're using those connection waves through north, west, south, and east, so we can subsurface its multi-universal planet of its Earth and bring it back its vibration to the fifth dimension. So that's what we're doing right now. So there's a lot of questions. It's great to have these questions, and I'm glad I can help you out as much as I can. There's a lot of people that are having problems understanding what I'm talking about. So in simplest terms, I'll try to make it easier for you so you get a better understanding. Let's start off with, why are we here? I probably said that too. And it all starts with you're a human vessel, and you have that human vessel, and it's totally up to you to figure out what you want to do with that human vessel. You have a daily life, you live that existence, and you try to bring yourself forward. Try to focus, try to be aware of who you are, what you're trying to do for yourself. So it's all about having a dream awakening. Okay, these are just reviews because I have a lot of videos, and it's important that everybody understands what's happening through space continuum, through the solar systems, through the planets, through the intelligence. I'm talking slower now so you get a better understanding. Sometimes I talk too fast. It depends on my energies and my energy cycles through my systematical systems. Okay, so that's why I'm talking a little bit slower, so I can be a little bit more informative with the information that is given to you. So you get an intro of what's happening through its reviews, of its data processing. So through the awakening, once you awake, your dream is awake. You become alive for the very first time. And once you go through that, you go through your habitat, you go through where you came from, where you were born, through your DNA structures. Now, DNA structures come from space continuum through its atmospheres. So it's taking all those particles of energies, putting them together, and you're becoming something of a superhuman. So the whole idea is to revive yourself to a higher self. So once you become your higher self, your definitive self, then you become a solar, and then harmonic, and then galactic. So you're working up the chain of command. So hopefully that helps you out. So when you awake, you are no longer you're human, but you're in a human vessel, and you're catching up with your spiritual side for the very first time. You're getting used to its atmosphere and space for the very first time. You're getting used to your higher self for the very first time. You're getting used to your meditations. Now, it depends if you have meditated before, it goes a lot quicker through its meditation and its methods. Then you get understanding of what chakras are, what energy cells, energy pockets. They're all different shapes, and they're center lined in your body, okay, from the ground up. And there's 7 of them. Okay, so you use those for breathing mechanisms to get what you want in life, to bring yourself together as a human person, so you can use that to your advantage on a day-to-day basis. So it's making you feel better every time you get up in the morning, knowing how to breathe properly, knowing that life is existing the way you want it to exist. Okay, so that's what it's all about. So when you're going through that dream awakening, you're going through your habitat, you're going through all those past references that you had through your past lives, you're going through its continuous force. And what it's doing is it's giving you energy each time. And it's very important to listen to these energies, because the higher self is telling you what to do through space continuum. Because all the energies come from the universe. Okay? The universe, well, multi-universe, it's all way beyond, okay, beyond any human understanding, any human under instinct. So getting that full collaboration through relationship and partnership with your higher self, with the multi-universe, with your dream awakening, with your definitive self, you're getting connection with just the basic idea of what's happening through space continuum. Now, hopefully that helps you out in a little better way of knowing what is happening through space and its continuum and its galactic force. So now people are trying to figure out, okay, slow down. What is mind scepters? What are alignments? What is modification calculations? Now, I've said those in my last videos. If you really, really want to understand it, I mean, most of my videos are like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, the most, no more longer than that. It depends on what I have to give through my telegraphing waves, transmission waves. Transmission is basically taking the body and taking those chakra formations, put them up into space continuum through the crown chakra. Okay, I send out the information and it comes back down into the crown chakra, back into the energy cell, whichever I activated. So it all depends on what chakra formation you activate. You can activate all 7, but you have to protect yourself with those grids, because the higher you go in space, the more it gets complicated. So when you get back to what's happening through calculation is basically understanding the diameters from one to another. Okay, modification is summing it up through its calculation, and then the alignments is setting the alignments from one solar system to another. So you're setting the alignments. Okay, these are the alignments, and it's forming into shapes, and those shapes become communication lines, and those communication lines become locations around its grids. Now, grid is the matrix, cross-reference, green screen, okay? But it's not just green, because your perception sees in pixels. Like I said in my last video, pixels are very important because it's synergized. Now, synergy is self-evolution through its shapes and its line formations. So it's a communication line. So you're using those communication lines to telegraph different shapes, because each dimension has a different vibration through its matrix. So you're collecting all the ideas, collecting all the patterns through your waving patterns, through your telecommunicating, through your mind telepathy, through your mind scepters. The mind scepters are basically understanding everything that's in the brain frequency. Brain frequencies are channeling through your vibrations. So you're trying to vocalize on your volumes. And you can change anything through the brain, through the mind, because the mind and the brain connect into one when you're in space continuum. And that's how you're incredibly strong. That's how you have incredible force. That's how you have incredible power. And also being psychic, you can be exceptionally psychic through the third eye. If you know how to use the third eye, the transformation light, the eye of the lamp, the Kundalini, then the transition of the healing comes in through the 7 chakras. But I use my 21 on a day-to-day basis. Now, like I said, I can generalize myself, but I got so many protection grids around its formation, and the formation is the force field around me that I protect myself on a day-to-day basis. So that's what mind scepters are. Brain frequency is basically turning up the volumes with the brain frequencies, channeling and fixing anything in its circuitry, because we're made out of pixels and atmosphere and particles of energies. Okay? So it all goes through your DNA structures, and DNA structures are basically biochemical through an energy cell. So that's how we're made, through space continuum. So you're taking all those particles and putting them into a human form. And that human form, revolves, okay? And what happens is when you sleep, you're living a past life, okay? And to understand it is to understand that it's real. And once it becomes alive, then you awake. And then everything comes more clear to you. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of what's happening and who you are, what you are trying to do, how to bring yourself forward. How do I use this continuous force through its circulation and rotation? And again, that's extremely important because everything revolves through its energy source, through its energy flow, through its oxygen, through its atmospheres, through its DNA structures, particles of energies, atoms, septagons, neutrons. We even have floatagons. Floatagons are basically energy cell bubbles through its force fields. And we use those for the septic centers so we can use a location. So you can disintegrate and come back together and go to another planet, right? So you ever seen Star Trek? Well, it's something like that. So basically they disintegrate into little particles, and then they teleport from one place to another. But that's a whole different category. So we'll get into that later. This is when we talk about spaceships and alignments and leadership and a lot. Everything has this combination through its radio signals, because radio signals are extremely important because everything is communication through alien nations and plantations of all locations and shapes. And it's infinity, the infinity, where it has 12th century circles through its line divisions. Now, line division is basically you're lining a planet. Okay, it's like an infinity, how it has 12 connection lines to one center. Well, the planet itself, like I said, it's not a sphere. It rotates this way, this way, this way. It has a force field around it. So every planet is a different shape through its dimension. And every dimension categorizes its elements. So each frequency that you go up is a higher vortex through its matrix. So those line divisions, every time you go through a different frequency, is a different harmonics. And it's communicating on different levels through different shapes. And we use those shapes, like I said, for locations. And those locations are correcting its atmosphere, changing its vibration, uprising the multidimensional Earth, and using a new force field, a new energized system through its systematical systems. Now, like I said, the systematical systems is self, which is you. And the definitive self, which is you. The higher self is with you. And the solar, and the harmonics, and the galactic. The galactic is the highest that you can consume in any kind of energized body through its body and ecosystems. Because the body and ecosystems is telegraphing its communication waves through its radio signals. So it's extremely important to be in that body and ecosystem, but it's extremely important too to keep it healthy every single day. Work out as much as you can. The more you work out, the more you meditate, the more you breathe properly, the more you're aware of focus. Focus is everything through space continuum. The higher self basically flies around, getting to know its element, getting to know its atmosphere, getting to know its DNA structure for the very first time as a higher self. Now, I think I said that too in my last video. So remember, these are all reviews that you need to know. So I'm talking slower so you get a better idea. So hopefully that helps out. So let's continue where we left off. Okay, so we're talking about pixels and all that through its generalizing energy cells. So those energy cells are connected through its waving patterns. And when using those line divisions through its correction, and those corrections are going through its active atmosphere and its septic centers. So we're splitting the atmosphere into 4, north, south, west, east. Okay, so we're using the Galactic 5 right now through the 5 elements. And those 5 elements are using new energy cells, okay, correcting its division, shape-shifting its shapes, okay, and we're using those communication lines so we can change the vibration of its atmosphere and its frequency through its harmonics. So that's what's happening right now. So everybody's being energized through its polarized. So you're going to get polarized now. Polarized is more of a harmonic upgrade. So everybody's saying, oh, what's going on with my body, my ecosystems? My body's starting to feel like this, and I don't understand it. And well, that's because you're not listening to your energies. Once you listen to your energies, you're mastering your thoughts. And once you master your thoughts, everything becomes easier. A lot easier for you and for everyone. Okay? That's what meditation is. Meditation is always within. It's understanding the yin and the yang. Look at monks and what they do on a day-to-day basis. They live on peace, tranquility, serenity. They understand the earth, the ground formations. They understand their balance. They understand their atmospheres. They understand each other, human instinct, human understanding. Okay? And they have fluidity like you wouldn't believe. They understand its waters and its continuum, how everything flows, flows. That's all it is. It's flowing. Understanding how to move, That's all it is understanding your body. What is your body made of? So you're communicating with your body just as you're communicating with the mind. And the mind has its own exception. Just like the brain has its own frequencies. Just like the voicing capacitor, the audio perception, the eye perception, the matrix and its grids, its entries. It's extremely important to know these things because once you're in space, now you're involved with the matrix. And once you go beyond, everything comes clear to you. Now, I just broke another frequency. So I was at 100, and now I was at 111. Now I'm at 122. Okay? So I kind of like jumped its frequency, and it's because right now we're going through a major shift, and that major shift is going through its polarize and its mechanisms, through its energy cycles and its oscillation. Okay, so that oscillation is changing its frequency through its atmosphere. So that's what's happening. And I'm breaking that code frequency through its matrix, going past another grid, through its entry force. So it's all allocated in different locations right now through its shapes. And it's very important to know through the dimensions and its parallels that it comes together as one, because that's what we want to do. We want to bring the frequency levels back to zero. That's the whole idea. And that's why I'm put on this earth, is to correct everything through its planet, through its solar systems and its intelligence, to bring back that vibration to its balance of its harmonics. All right, so I think that's good. I give you a better understanding of what's going on with yourself, your definitive self, your higher self, and then you can jump your way up to the galactic self, and then formalize, unite, and figure out who you are as a person. Okay, and the only way you're going to know that is to meditate. So hopefully that helps out. But like I said, I'm going to be in Mexico City, so I'll be setting up another video content transmission for you guys on this electronic device. And I'd like to thank everybody else for watching my channel. So I'll talk to you later. This is Andy Weston, resonating on all solar systems, planets, and intelligence. Calling out. Adios.